Hello everyone, and welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to be discussing three ideas. First, I will describe a little bit about who Ian Hacking is and his perspective on making up people. I will then go into what dynamic nominalism is, and then finally I will apply it to Joanna Rudnick in her journey embracing her category of the BRCA mutation. So to go into a little bit about who Ian Hacking is, he is a philosopher who coined the idea of dynamic nominalism. And in this idea, he emphasizes categorization, really how categories come into being. And with categorization, he describes it as a very dynamic process. And this dynamic process can apply to many categories that we know, such as medical conditions, mental disorders, ADHD, autism, the list goes on. So what is dynamic nominalism as Hacking describes it? Well, we can define dynamic nominalism as the complex processes through which subjects are progressively, really, and materially constituted as certain types of people. And I like to think of this as an advanced system of labeling that involves a lot of change, adaptability, and development for these categories. So two examples I'd like to use are gloves and humans. Well, gloves fall under dynamic nominalism because their functions are strictly based on what we make of them. Gloves are a category that is solely invented by humans, and they change based on what we do to them. They're very responsive to us. The idea of gloves is very responsive to us. They change based on what we do to them. Their functions can change. Whatever we make of gloves is what makes the category. And this can be extended to humans because humans are a very diverse kind. They change, they adapt as these dynamic processes describe. The category of humans is not set in stone. It's not black and white. And it's very dynamic in the sense that there is no set of characteristics that really shows the prototype of humans and what humans are. Dynamic nominalism is really important here because humans are always changing. Humans adapt to their environment, they change based on others, lifestyles change, and that's a really important idea that Hacking describes. So how can we extend this to Joanna Rudnick and the BRCA mutation? Well, Joanna Rudnick is a woman who was diagnosed with a mutation in the BRCA1 gene, which unfortunately makes her very susceptible to cancers such as ovarian cancer and breast cancer. And this new categorization that she was placed in allowed her to embark on a journey to adapt to her new lifestyle that allowed her to take the mutation head on and see what she can do to deal with it. And in this, it made her a patient in waiting in the sense that she knew the risks, she knew what she would have to deal with in her future, and she had to change her life drastically in order to deal with this almost deadly mutation. So how does this relate back to dynamic nominalism? Well, Joanna found herself being placed into a new category of BRCA patients as a patient in waiting. So after learning about this, what Joanna did was she embarked on a journey to learn about her condition, about her category. So one thing that she learned was that many people that fall under this diagnosis is they have surgery to reduce the likelihood of cancer. They can have their ovaries and breasts removed, which decreases the likelihood. But Joanna did not want to succumb to the strict path that many patients in this category go through. She wanted to really adapt and embrace her category. So what she did was she visited other patients, she visited doctors, she really learned about her category. Many people gave her advice. She gained a plethora of knowledge, and through this accumulation of knowledge, she was able to weigh her options and really make changes to her life. She did not succumb to the strict path that many people go through with this condition. I think that's very important because it shows the dynamic process that Hacking described. She was able to learn from others, she was able to adapt and really form a good path for herself, make it a very meaningful path of being a patient and waiting. She did not let the risks deter her. She did not give up early and go to surgery as an option. She really took her life into her own hands and made drastic changes that helped her form a new path, a very dynamic path. I think this embodies Hacking's ideas very well. It's a very good example of how dynamic nominalism works. Well, summing it all up, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you for listening.